And I get real with them, Mike. I'm like, it's not about you.
Right.
It's not about me. My family's protected.
Mm-hmm.
It's about your beneficiaries. When you pass away, they're the one who's going to be screwed.
Right.
It's okay for you not to care now, but like, honestly, they're your loved ones.
Yeah.
Like, if you can tell me all you want, but if you're in real provider, you will take care of business while you're alive.
Mm-hmm.
Not wait until it's too late.
All right, welcome to True Talk. Got my man Freddy Marichal with us today. What's up, brother?
Everything's great, man. Thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for the opportunity for you, Mike, Sean Mike, and also corporate office for the invite.
Absolutely, dude. Well, partly why we invited you, Freddie, is you are about to be 3-time Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So, and it's like, why is that a big deal? There's a lot of people that have hit it once. There's a lot of people that have hit it twice. But it's like each year there's less and less. So the fact that you are now on track, you're at 350 so far this year, right?
That's right.
So what, another few weeks? I mean, with the way you write?
At the end of this month, I'll hit it.
And this month you'll be at Hall of Fame three
yeah.
times in a row. Why is that important to you?
Honestly, it's all about consistency, right? Mike, I mean, let's bring it back to like Sean Mike, right? When he first started this industry, this opportunity, this business, if he didn't stay consistent, none of us would have been in this opportunity. So I want to provide the same thing. And then secondly, it goes by leading by example, right? Like at the end of the day, if you're recruiting agents to be in the business, they trust in you. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't want to be that type of manager, just micromanaging them and not doing the work.
Right.
So when I lead by example, what I mean by that is like on Zoom, I'm plugged in with them, helping them with the questions they have, but at the same time, I'm doing the work.
Got it. And what's big about that, it's funny, Sean was on last week, and we were talking about this, and it's funny you bring up, him starting and being consistent. One of the things I'll say about Sean is he never asked us to do things that he wasn't willing to do, Freddie.
Boom.
Right? And it's kind of like exactly what you're talking about. So if I'm on your team and you go, dude, you should hit Hall of Fame, well, you've done it going on 3 times. Actually, probably by the time they watch this, you might have already hit it.
That's right.
But
amen.
There you go. But, I mean, then it's like it's not crazy for you to expect that out of your guys, right? Because you've gone out and done it. And I think that is key. Leading from example is so big in this business. Now, your background, you did not come from sales, correct?
No.
And I still believe there's this misconception out there that, like, you have to be really good at sales to be good at life insurance or to get good.
Not at all. Not at all. Just as soon as you're disciplined, as soon as you're coachable, and you're willing to work and put the hard work, you can make it happen easily. Right. Now, in regards to like my background, I come from retail. Like I used to work in different companies, selling different products. But like the people themselves will walk in,
correct,
and they'd be like, "Yeah, I just want this one, this specific amount of memory, like cell phones and things like that, and tablets." And I'd be like, "All right, here you go." It's more like a service. I was just providing that service.
And you were in cell phone sales for a little bit,
cell phones sales for a while.
But like you said, like dude, people were coming in when their contract when it was time to get a new phone.
That's right.
And I mean, 99% of the time, it's like you want an Android, you want an iPhone, Okay, cool. You want this model or you want the Pro?
That's right. Which color?
Exactly. Yeah, that was the hardest choice, right?
There's no, and then in regards to that, the only thing that we probably had to sell was the protection plan. It's like, okay, do you, God forbid your phone drops. I'm assuming you want a new screen or a new phone. And they're like, yes, boom. Yeah. So no sales experience before that. Obviously, I went into a different industry, which is more into the financial field. And then there, as a financial advisor, I was able to provide solutions. And that's kind of how I got my life insurance license.
Okay. So you went from, you were in the cell phone industry. How long were you doing that for?
That was my whole, I'll probably say, last 2 years of high school and a couple of first years of college. So like 4 or 5 years.
Got it. And then you ended up getting into banking a little bit, right?
Went into banking.
Was that a goal of yours? Like, how did that happen?
Well, so I was already studying in San State for business administration, concentration marketing. So I wanted to put myself out there. There was a family friend who, provided me with the opportunity. He was telling me, hey, listen, you're a people person. You get along with a lot of people. I think this will be a good opportunity for you. Right. And I was like, okay, why not? I'm in my early 20s. Why not give it a try?
Got it.
I did give it a try. It was pretty cool. I mean, I was wearing a suit and tie, looking sharp.
You felt important?
Hey, I felt important. I felt like I owed the bank. I was like, hey, this is my bank. And at the same time, I was also helping, families who had their accounts there in the bank, who had a lot of money. I was helping them, figure out, instead of CD, putting all their solutions that make sense for them, right, financially. But that was also, wasn't any selling there. Like, it's more like, you have this amount of money, Mike. This will get you this return. Yeah. You don't have to do all of it. You can do a portion of it. This is what you will get in the next couple of years. Does that make sense? Right. They're like, yes, no, cool, move on.
Got it. So if you got a no, it was like, okay, cool, next. And if you got a yes, great. So to your point, it wasn't really, it was, I know Sean kind of says this here, order taking, but that's pretty much what you were doing. Like, I came in, I wanted this.
That's right.
You sold it to me. Yeah. And if I said no, you weren't sitting there trying to convince me. You're like, dude, next.
I didn't have no script. I didn't have to use any type of psychology. It was just you either won or you don't.
Got it.
And that was it.
And and what was your job title then?
It was financial advisor.
Okay. And you started there. Did you do any like teller work at the bank? Or?
So honestly, I did probably like a couple months of teller, and the dude would say, "Man, you're terrible with money. We gotta get you out of here." And then I went into customer service, and then he realized, how good I was, managing, with people.
Why are you terrible at being a teller, dude? What happened?
It's just, it has to balance at the end of the day, and sometimes they didn't balance.
They just couldn't be close. You're like, dude, it's like $4 off. Who cares, right?
It was like a couple pennies. I was like, I gave an extra couple pennies. Okay, cool. Don't fire me, please. Right. So,
dude, they don't mess around though. After like one or two faults, it could be $1 off. Yeah, bro, you getting whacked. You do. My wife worked at a bank for a long time, and I remember there was a time like when we were, teenagers. She didn't even drive at this time, so I'd pick her up. And I'd get there like on Friday nights. They'd be done at like 6:15. But I always knew like if she didn't come out after like 15 minutes, somebody's drawing in balance. That's right. And dude, they'd be in there until they found it. Yep. I'm like, bro, it's like an hour. Like, what are we doing? And she's like, yeah, so-and-so's draw was $10 short. Or over. Sometimes you get that. Like you under, pay, or you didn't give someone back the right change, and now you're over. That's still a problem. Yep. I'm like, bro, the bank's up. Isn't that a good thing?
That's right.
But no, it has to be exact,
Yeah, and they go over all the transactions throughout the day. If you're in a busy, bank, forget about it. You're there for a couple hours. Yeah. And that was painful, man.
Now, when you got the job, was it to be a teller at first, or did you have your this financial advisor kind of role in mind?
Yeah, so for me, it's to be anything around customer service. I just wanted to deal with people. I just enjoy the aspect of that. So the main thing, when he first hired me was like, okay, well, you're going to start as a teller. That's kind of how everything starts. Yeah. And I'm like, fine, I'll just be here a couple months. Doesn't really matter. I was a good friend of him. Yeah, yeah. And then after he saw that I was not good with money, he was like, man, we got to get you out of here. Yeah. So there was a spot available for customer service. Okay. And then he brought me in there. And then after that, I was just getting my licenses. So,
got it.
Life insurance
moved into customer service. And then you ended up getting a life insurance license there, right?
Yes, I did.
Got it. And what were you selling? Annuities or
fixed annuities, index annuities? That's pretty much it.
Got it. How long did you do the financial planning at the bank?
So I did that for about 2 or 3 years. Yeah. And then on my 3rd year, I was like, do I see myself here in 5 years? And then I was like, no. And then I also saw like my managers and also other financial advisors who were there for 8 to 10 years. And I'm like, well, all they do is complain.
I would say were most of them miserable?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, like all the time. Yeah. And they would tell me, oh, my God, Frederick, you're so positive and all this. They were like, give it a couple more years. And I'm like, damn. Yeah, no, I'm out. In my mind, I'm like, I'm out. Yeah. I want to be out of here. So, I started Googling. I was like, okay, so what can I do with my life insurance license? Because I already passed that. They already paid for all that.
So you knew, like, I got this license. I'm sure there's something else I can do. This ain't it here.
This is not it. Like, for me, I asked myself, do I see myself here in 5 years? The answer was no. I started just searching. Yeah. Looking for different options.
Got it.
And there was other options out there, like solar and many other things that you can do, real estate as well. But I didn't want to get a different license if I already had this one. I wanted to maximize it. Okay. So I was like, what can I do? And I started going to social media, TikTok, and that's how I found out about Family First Life.
Wasn't you see like Andrew Taylor on TikTok?
Yeah, it was a video for Andrew Taylor. And then
what was it about the video that got like?
It was crazy. It was the amount of family. So for that specific video, I just saw a regular guy. Yeah. He said, I helped 25 families that month. I was saying, okay. Yeah. If this guy can help 25 families, I can definitely help 25 families. Right. So that kind of just triggered me to be like, okay, I got to find out more. And then from there, I made it a homework to just do some research on Family First Life.
Okay.
Yeah. So
what'd you do?
So after I probably watched like 30 different TikToks on Family First Life, I went into the website.
Yeah.
I went into family, firstlife.com, and then I filled out a survey like if I was like a client. And then you guys reached out. Eric Schmidt reached out. I think the same day.
Yeah.
He reached out, and then he was like, he ran my phone probably like 5 times. I'm like,
really?
Who is this psychopath?
Yo, but that's huge though, because you always hear from, you don't always hear this. We hear this from people because we get a ton of applicants in the website, and we give them out. We don't recruit directly. And then you hear, I called those, Mike, and just nobody answered. But did you call them once? So Eric called you 5 times.
He called me 3 or 5 times. Let me a voice message. This is Eric Smith of Family First Life, Northeast. Yeah. I'm like, I'm like, that sounds familiar. I'm like, oh, yeah, that was the survey I filled out. Yeah. And then, we just had a conversation.
Yeah.
And Eric.
Yeah, what was the conversation like?
He's blunt. He's blunt about everything, which I appreciate.
Right.
And I think that if I start with someone else in the business who was more, like, less blunt about the whole business, I probably wouldn't done it.
Really?
I think he was so real in regards to the conversation and like what, I needed to do to be successful, that he's just like, okay, well, I can do all that. Yeah. Why not give it a try? Right. And how the conversation was, it's like, hey, Frederick, I mean, I know you've done some research, for you to get to the website and fill out the survey. So, like, what questions you have for me? And then, we went over, things, like, where do I get leads? Where do I buy the clients? Chargeback, all those different type of scenarios. But then he was like, you know what, Frederick, like, you sound like you can really be successful here. And he said, I'm not just blowing smoke. But at the same time, man, like, I don't know. I'm looking for an adult in this industry. And I'm like, wait, what do you mean by that? I'm thinking just age. Right. So, what do you mean by that?
I'm over 21.
I'm over 21. What are we talking about? And then he goes, no, Frederick. He said, like, right now I'm door knocking. Right now I'm between, appointments. And, this is a grind, especially the first, 9 months to a year in this business. And, like, I need somebody who I don't have to, like, pamper or, call in the morning. Hey, wake up, get to dialing. Yeah. Or, get to work. I need someone who's going to be responsible. I need someone who's going to be disciplined, who's going to be self-driven. And every single thing he was listening, I'm like, check mark, check mark, check mark. And then he said, I want somebody who's coachable. And he said, I'm not going to micromanage you. You call me when you want to call me. You talk to me if you want to talk to me. I'll provide you, obviously, the opportunity. I'll be here to support you. But it's up to you what you make of it. Yeah. And that, to me, was like music to my ears. Really? That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Yeah. Because what happens is when you go into like a new opportunity, that person on the phone tries to sell you the opportunity. Correct. He didn't sell me the opportunity. He was telling me everything I didn't want to hear. Yeah. Right? For like an average producer to be freaked out. Right. When I'm like, no, this is perfect. This is exactly what I want. Because for the longest time, I wanted to be my own boss. And it's not because like, in regards to like being able to provide to your family and all the other things, the financial ability that gives you, is more to be able to manage my time. Yeah. Like even when I had to ask for a PTO, in the bank.
That's like a process.
It was annoying. Yeah. It was really annoying.
It's funny because they give you the days, right? Yeah. And then when you go to ask them, it's like, what do you need to take a day off for, Freddie? Like, because I have like 20 of them, and if I don't use them, I lose them.
Exactly. Question everything. So in regards to like, Eric introduced me to the business. I love that he didn't sell me the opportunity. He just told me, this is what it is. You take the chance or you don't. Yeah. If you do, I'm here.
Right. So that's you. I mean, that is how to recruit in a nutshell. Like, to your point, people so often try to sell the individual on why, it's like, I don't want to scare them away. Dude, I want to scare them away. I want to see if I go, hey, Freddie, 30% of your business is going to fall off the books and then you're going to owe that money to the carrier. Does that make you nervous? Or like, yeah, I could never do that, Mike. Well, then you should go find a job. Yeah. You should go back to the bank.
That's right.
Like, weed people out at that stage so you don't have to weed them out later to when they create that and it rolls up to you. Like,
that's right.
You want to find out someone's not a good fit for the business on that first conversation, not a year into this. And, I love that Eric recruited that way because it shoot you straight. And worst case, what could have happened? You wouldn't have joined. But I don't think that's worst case. To me, when you're recruiting, yes or no has equal value.
That's right.
I'm just trying to get the answer, bro. You want to do this? No. Okay, cool. Next. You want to do this? Yes. All right, cool. Get signed up. Like if we can get to that mentality and remove the emotion from it, the recruiting numbers would go through the roof.
Boom.
Conversion numbers would go through the roof.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're going to weed them out in the front end versus the back end. Dude, it's like now I'm a little bit older, right? So Yankees were the team back in my day, right?
Oh man.
What are you, a Red Sox fan?
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
But all right, you go back to like the late 90s, dude. Yankees didn't have to recruit you to play for them.
That's right.
You wanted to play for the Yankees. And they probably like, dude, these are all things you're going to have to do on the Yankees. Do you sure you want to be here? Like, that was the team to join. We need to have that mentality when we're recruiting. I mean, when you first spoke to Eric, did he talk at all about how much he sold? Like, did you know how much he sold at that point or no?
So he briefly, talked about it because he was still in the field at that time. And then he sent me a couple of his podcasts that he did with you, Mike, as well. And then I kind of got like a better idea of the business. But he wasn't like bragging about it.
Not bragging. But did you get like the sense that this guy's selling?
No, this guy, definitely a top producer, top agency, and he's the leader. Right. I just knew he was the leader.
Got it.
And the best thing about Eric that I love, any type of like lack of like confidence you have, he shuts it down right away. Yeah. Like I remember dialing in the office and then like I would say like, oh, these people are not picking up or these people are super mean. He would just shut it. He's like, dude, just move on. He would say, dude, all the families that don't want the insurance, you're eliminating it right now. Now you're going to focus on the ones that want it. And that switch is crucial, especially when you're like, it's the first time in the business, you're first time like business owner. Right. Figuring all those things out could be nerve-wracking.
Absolutely. And that's why it's key, like you mentioned earlier, to be a leader, lead from the front. Because if Eric hadn't done that, he's not in position to have that conversation with you.
That's right.
What happens a lot of times in those situations is the upline is going to sit there and wallow in the misery with you. Like when people say this, dude, I want to vomit. All leads suck.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God. Stop saying that. They don't all suck. You suck.
Yeah.
If you say all leads suck, then all leads are going to suck. If you say all leads are great, they're all not going to be great.
No,
but at least you're going to believe that going into it, and I promise you'll convert more.
The mindset.
Mindset. Right. Dude, mindset is everything. Did you understand that prior to this industry, or is that something that you learned getting in here?
So, I didn't have to do a lot of selling in my previous, career, but I did understand that mindset was important. So I always wanted to walk in on my day with a positive mindset because, I didn't want to give any like negative vibes or any negativity or,
Where does that come from? Is it something from childhood, your parents?
I think it's my parents.
Yeah.
My parents and the family and it just everybody who was around me growing up. They just offer a lot of support, a lot of love. But at the same time, it's like, they put in the mindset like, listen, the world is difficult, right? And you need to understand that. The people that will, overcome that, the people who are mentally strong.
Right.
And it's not so much that you can't be emotional at times. It's more like you really have to focus on what really matters.
Yeah.
Like get to that specific goal. Like what matters today, and let's focus on that.
Yeah.
Let's not worry about the little things. You can control that. Worry about the things you can control. So since early on, my mom and dad always influenced on me in regards to that.
That's awesome. Yeah. Were your parents born here?
No, they were born in Dominican Republic.
Were you born there here?
No, I was born in Dominican Republic too.
How old were you when you moved here?
When I moved here, it was in 2005, so I was 11 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was, think about it. I had, my whole friendship, childhood over there, playing BB gun, riding bikes, all those different things. Being able to play baseball and basketball 24/7 because of the weather.
Yeah.
And then you come here, you're like, man, I got to deal with some snow.
Right. So, yeah, because you guys moved to New England, right?
We did. We moved to Boston, yeah.
Got it. So you're 11 years old. You're in what? Fifth grade?
Yeah.
So, you already got your friend group. You say you're playing sports or whatnot. I know. Was it always a goal of your parents to move here, or did this thing for you, did it come out of left field for you at 11, or did you know that your parents wanted to move here at some point?
Yeah, so before we moved here, we visited a couple of times. We do have, we have family in New York. We have family in Boston as well. And it was one of their ideas. It was, especially for my mom, she just wanted to move here because she knew it was going to be a better life for us moving forward. And, you know, in Dominican Republic, it's not bad. You know, my mom understood that she was getting a little older. So she was like, you know what? This is not about me. Yeah. Right. Which is a selfish move.
Sure.
This is not about me. It's about them and their future. And I just feel that, you know, the U.S. will provide that for them.
Got it.
So she made that move.
Got it. So you had visited here a few times.
Yeah, a couple times.
And visiting here, did you ever get that like, ooh, I want to live here, or like, I can't wait to get home type of?
No, I came here in the summertime.
Okay, so it was
It's
good.
incredible. Right? And, you know, when you're a kid, you're like, oh, snow and all that. Yep. And the snow is cute and all for the first 2 years.
Right.
Once you become an adult and you have to shovel the snow, you know, it's a different story.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
So 11 years old, y'all moved here. Did you guys move here in the winter?
So we moved here in August.
Okay.
So kind of the end of the summer. Then we have the fall and then the winter. And I believe like that winter we moved here, we had probably like one of the biggest snowstorms. And I was happy, you know, first year.
Yeah, 11 years,
You know, a couple of years after, I was like, oh, man, no, get me out of here. So, but, you know, you adapt. Yeah. For sure.
Did you already speak English when you moved here, or did you learn?
I did not know. I learned. So my older brothers, I have two of them, they were in a bilingual school.
Oh, they were when you were in DR?
Yeah, we were in DR. And then, you know, we moved here. I mean, I was the youngest one, so I kind of just learned. My first year in the U.S., I didn't speak any English. Really? At all. I was the quiet kid, just sat there, did my homework, you know. I had like an assistant helping me out. Yeah. So, and then after that, kind of, you know, became a little more.
What was that like? So you went from 11 in DR, you got friends, you're playing sport, and then now you're here. You don't speak the language. You're kind of off like in an island on your own. Yeah. What was that like?
That's when you rely with family. And the cool thing is the school there was a teacher who was bilingual. Oh, okay. So she kind of helped me out through the whole process. Yeah. But it got to a point where, you know, a couple months in, she was like, no, I'm only going to speak English to you. So you have to figure out. So it could be a little overwhelming. Yeah. The cool thing, I had other, you know, friends, you know, from different areas in DR who moved at the same time.
Oh,
so
you did?
Yeah. So I was able to actually,
a few friends around,
you know, get some friends, you know, speak the language and, you know, kind of make it happen.
How long did it take for you where you felt like I'm comfortable speaking English?
I said the first couple of years. And I think, you know, playing sports kind of helps you out as well. You know, I play, you know, basketball, soccer, baseball, anything. Yeah. You know, that I can get my hands around. I was playing, and, you know, being able to interact with other people, you know, helps you out. For sure.
You're a big baseball fan?
Huge baseball fan.
Dude, why are Dominicans better at baseball than everybody else? Like, seriously.
It's 24/7 for us. Okay. It's like drinking water.
Really?
Yeah.
Y'all just love it that you play so much baseball down there.
Yeah. And even if you don't have the ability to get like a bat or glove, there's a game called Bitilla. Okay. Which is broomstick. Yeah. And have you seen the gallons of water? Yeah. The thing on top,
like the cork type thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that we actually use and we pitch it. And then we swing. And that's the reason we're so good.
So that's why you're so good, because you're using a damn skinny broomstick and a little cap. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Versus we're over here learning with bats and you know, baseball. Got it all screwed up. Yeah. Yeah. But it's funny when you look at like the major leagues and you go, there's a lot of Hispanic. No, there's a lot of Dominican. Yeah. Like, you don't see a lot of Puerto Rican and Cuban. There's some mixed in, but the disparity is actually crazy. But,
it's wild.
Yeah. Nice. So you played baseball when you moved over here?
So I did play baseball. Yeah. That was kind of like my main sport. Yeah. Then, you know, through high school, middle school, I kind of just, you know, implemented soccer, a little basketball, just kind of like keep up with conditioning.
Got it. Yeah. So you joined us, talked to Eric Schmidt. You already licensed. You already got contracted. What was that transition like? Like, you know, you talked about down on the leads day one. First of all, what did you expect when you were, like, your first day going to dial? Did you come to the office?
I did not come to the office. I dialed from home. That was a big mistake.
Yeah. How'd that go?
Big mistake, because I was living with my mom and my brother, and all I can hear is them in the background. And they don't understand, right? Like, when you first...
Were they trying to coach you?
Well, not so much coaching. It's like they think, like, oh, my God, he's working from home. He's off. I'm not off. You know? Off. Because I'm not going I'm not going to the bank. I'm not going to an office. So it was a different... different thing for them.
They started asking you to do chores and shit. Like, hey,
like,
while you're home, can you do this?
Yeah, can you take me grocery shopping? I'm like, I cannot. I have to focus on this. So, and another thing, I was dining by myself. So even in the beginning, you know, if I was able to like join a Zoom that would help me out, it would have been a huge difference. Right. You know, but back then they didn't have that. No. You know, it wasn't available. So I was dining by myself. I was in my head the whole time. I'm thinking I'm booking everybody.
Yeah.
You know, they won the insurance. I'm just going to book them. But, you know, that's the thing where, you know, you don't have the script. You don't have the structure. You don't have tonality.
Right. Did you book anything?
I probably booked like 4 appointments.
Yeah.
So, like, the first couple of weeks here was a grind.
Yeah.
A grind. I was mostly door knocking than anything.
Yeah. Well, out of those, like, did anybody show up, or was it like, yeah, I'll be there?
Like, 1 or 2 show up because they were handicapped. They couldn't get anywhere.
They couldn't leave.
They couldn't leave. So, thank God.
Yeah.
So, they were home. And then I walked in there, and thank God, the first couple of times I just walked in and just tried to just figure out myself.
Yeah.
And that was a big
Were you able to
mess
help
up.
anyone?
Oh, my God. I didn't help anybody.
No.
And then I made a mistake. I would call Eric right after I left the home.
Yeah, instead of inside.
Pissed. He was like, "Are you in the home?" I was like, "No, I just left." Like, yeah. Call me when you're back in the home. Okay. There's nothing for us to discuss. I'm like, "Yes, sir." Yeah. So then from there on, I was like, "Okay, I got to be coachable."
Yeah.
Like, enough is enough. Like, I'm not trying to go back to the bank. Like, I have to figure this thing out. I gave myself a month. I only have 1 check to make it happen. Like, I have 1 paycheck. Everything's paid off. I invest in some leads. I got to make it happen.
Yeah.
And for the first 2 weeks, my biggest mistake was not being coachable.
Wow.
And that is the biggest thing I tell every single new agent. It's like, if you're not coachable, we're just wasting each other's time.
Yeah. Now, why do you think you weren't coachable at that time?
Just ego.
Ego? Yeah.
Ego. I come from the financial industry. I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything, Mike. So, like, I just needed to understand that this is a new industry. It's similar, but it's a new industry.
Right.
There's different structure that you have to, follow in home. There's things that you have to say in the phone to make sure they're available and they're present. And most importantly, I didn't know all the products or solutions, so I needed to follow up. Give a quick call to Eric. Hey, Eric, I'm in an in-home. This, and that. What would you recommend? Yeah. And that also added value to the client, because it's like, okay, not only he's making the suggestion, now he have his supervisor helping me in the process. So that's the biggest difference.
So what was that time span that you were uncoachable? A couple weeks?
Couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I even remember the second week, I didn't make nothing.
Yeah.
No sales, no families. I remember my brother telling me, maybe you should just get a part-time job. that thing fueled me. Yeah. It's like when you're in baseball and your boy tells you, that guy keeps just striking you out, man. Yeah. What's going on with that? Right. He just owns you. You're like, whoa.
Maybe don't go up the bat next time.
Like, no. I'm getting a hit from this guy. So it was the same mindset for me. When my brother said that, he loves me. He respects me. Right. But he
wasn't saying it to mess with you. He's probably looking at it like, dude, you've been doing this for a few weeks. Yeah. You're not making any money. Like, dude, go back to the bank where you're getting paid.
That's right.
But you're like, no, screw that. I'm making this happen.
No, I'm making it happen.
Yeah. Sure. So that motivated you.
And my biggest flex for everything is that even in that bank that I used to work, I opened my business account because I want to make sure that they understand I'm not going back. Yeah. I'm just not going back. Yeah. So that was my biggest thing, because one of the managers, when I was working in that bank, when it was like my final week, she was like, "Oh, no worry, you'll be back." I say, "Excuse me? I'll be where? Nah, I'm not coming back." Oh, so I just kept that every single time. I had a thing like, I can't figure this out. I'm gonna quit, or this is not for me. I'm like, what did you say again? Right. I'm gonna be back. Yeah, I'm not coming back.
That's the thing. Like, people get all upset. You see them on my haters, this, that. Yeah. Dude, who cares? Listen to it.
Yep.
Listen, like, one of the things I love about David Goggins, he's like, dude, I go and read all the bullshit comments because it motivates me. I remember when my wife was working at a bank, ironically, and our goal was to, before we had kids, she was going to become a stay-at-home mom. Okay. I was selling life insurance, and we had told a handful of people, and we had a lot of bullshit. Matter of fact, our dentist, because we had the same dentist, wow. We had, and this was like when we were getting ready to, she's getting ready to leave her job, and the conversation came up, and he said to us, he goes, life insurance? Yeah, you're not going to be able to support her selling life insurance. And I was like, okay. We'll see, dude. You still got your little dentistry office, and she's been home for 12 years.
Amen.
But even people at the bank, like, that's cool. You're going to leave but you have a good job. How would you, what are you going to do? Like, how are you going to walk away from this? Like, dude, it's highly overrated.
Yes.
You know? But so my point is, dude, if people are saying, listen to them. Don't get upset.
No.
Use that as motive. I mean, that's what you, like, and again, your brother wasn't trying to mess with you.
No.
But at that time, you're like, dude, really? But you could have done two things. You could have got all upset. You got an argument with your brother. And then carry that on into your appointments and or just, you know what? I'll show you, bro. I got you.
That.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. No, use as motivation because I grew up around that. Like I always competed against my brothers. I always competed against my friends. And at the end of the day, that's the ultimate drive.
Right.
Competition.
Yeah.
Right. And you're not competing to, show off and do all this. It's like you need something to constantly drive you. And in order for you to stay consistent, you can't be looking at the good things.
Right.
Like you look at the good things, you will have no drive on a daily basis. You look at the things you can improve on. You have a constant drive because you're always looking to get better. And that's what matters.
Yeah. Absolutely, dude. It's like competition is missing from a lot of aspects of society now. It's like I think we overcorrect, and now it's like we don't want anyone to compete. We want everyone to win. Then it's not winning. And my kids play sports, and it's so funny the different levels. Like if you play football, dude, it's competition. From 8 years old up to college, pros. Like there's no confusion there. You don't play football and not keep score. Yeah. But then there's other sports like. Dude, baseball. My 8-year-old plays softball. They play these games. The outs count, but there's no runs.
Oh, my God.
So, we're like, well, who won? Well, we don't keep score. Like, why? They're 8, 9 years old. Next year, they're going to keep score. What is it about an 8-year-old that a 9-year-old? So 1 year makes that much of a difference?
They're more mature now.
Yeah. It's crazy. But and that's one thing I love about our business, our industry is it is competition.
Yep.
You're at 350. There's people that are higher, there's people that are lower.
Yep.
I would guess that you probably check the leaderboard and go, hey, where's so-and-so?
Yeah.
I remember having almost a target. Oh, dude, he's up there. I mean, ours was easy. It was Sean.
Yeah.
We saw what he was doing. Well, if we could maybe do half of that, then I guess we're doing good. But I think competition is missing from a lot of aspects of society. And it's one thing I do really still enjoy and love about our industry, our business, is it's still there.
That's right.
I mean, at the end of the year, dude, you're there. You get your red jacket, you're up on stage. We call you up in order.
That's right.
So you went to your first event when? When was your first convention?
I think it was Miami 2021.
Okay. How long were you with us at that point? Not a full year, right?
No, probably 3 or 4 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you go to the awards?
I did go to the award ceremony.
And did you win anything at that point?
No.
What was that like?
And that's the reason I wanted to show up. It was incredible to see other people. But most importantly, I'm just like, this person, I seen him around. I seen some videos on it. Okay, they made Hall of Fame. Oh, this is possible.
Yeah.
So it was more like I wanted to go there to kind of size the competition.
Yeah.
And see, okay, who are the top producers? Who are the ones who are winning? Who are the ones that are not winning?
Right.
And this whole hype and, kind of BS. And I wanted to be there present because I just knew I was going to be walking, the stage next year.
Yeah.
But I wanted to see who was actually truly winning. Right. Yeah.
And did that not motivate you more for the next year? Sitting, because I've been there. It ain't fun sitting through, a 2-3 hour award ceremony and not hearing your name called once. I don't care how much you like accolades or not, dude. They're giving out awards. You're like, dude, where's mine? Every time they say someone with an F, you're like, is that me? No, that's Frank, dude. Chill. Wait.
Not you.
Right. But that motivated you for next year.
Yes. And also, it gave me an opportunity where I'm like, okay, so I think I was here 3 or 4 months. I was probably almost 200,000.
Okay.
Or 200 families.
Yep.
Right. And then from there, I'm like, okay, cool. So if I did that in 3 or 4 months, then easy I can do, Hall of Fame. But then you have to peel back the onion.
Sure.
How many families, a month? How many families a week? How many families a day?
Yeah.
And just have those daily goals.
Right.
That way you stay focused and you stay on task.
Dude, and I don't know the number, but I would love to look at how many people have done Hall of Fame numbers in a month but did not finish the year. You know what I mean? Because you're talking, 35 families or so a month. If you did that for 12 months, you'll and check the math, not a mathematician, but it would put you on track. But like you said when we started this podcast, consistency is the key. Because there's plenty of producers, Freddie, that hit it 1 month, maybe even 2, 3, and then fall off track, right? The key is not that one big month. It's making sure every single month, to your point, you have enough families, and then You reverse engineer it, right? I need to help this many families. Well, how many sits do I need? Everyone's numbers are different.
That's right.
You may need to sit with, 50 families to help 25.
Yeah.
Whatever it may be. And then from there, okay, how many leads do I need to get? And then how much time do I need to spend on the phone? And reverse engineer that. Like, when Eric Schmidt started, he started off part-time. I mean, you've heard the story. He didn't. He looked at his time. I have this much time. I can fit this many appointments in this much time. I'm not going to have time to do anything else. I mean, dude, he's working at the car dealership, going out on his break, selling a policy, coming back, selling a car, like just figuring it out.
Incredible.
And you're now at that for the third year in a row, which is awesome. It's
consistency. I feel like, if you look at the greatest all time, MJ, Kobe, dude, if you only saw them like, oh, they had 5 good years, it was like, cool. They were good players.
Right.
But they're consistent.
Yep.
So for me, it was like, okay, especially not only leading by example, like if I actually want to be one of those, greatest.
Yeah.
Or great in this business and industry, like I have to be consistent. And listen, some months are going to be better than others.
Sure.
But as soon as I'm disciplined and consistent and every day, and people are seeing my name, they're seeing me on the little boards. And most importantly, they see like, man, this man don't quit.
Right.
Like he's always there.
Yeah.
It shows that, I'm not BSing this opportunity. I'm actually showing up every day and serving families.
Yeah. That's huge. And that's a big part of it too, is like what we're doing. Like we're competing at helping people, which is pretty cool.
It's a good competition.
It is. Like you've been around long enough now. I'm sure you've had some death claims, right? Is there one that is kind of sticks out as like this one really impacted me, kind of changed my mindset?
Yeah, so the first one.
Yeah.
And the reason why I said the first one, because this lady probably no-showed me like twice.
Yeah.
So she no-showed me twice. The third time, honestly, I was like, man, like with all the respect, like I'm driving 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, do you want the insurance or not?
Right.
Because at this point, like we just keep going back and forth. You're trying to argue with me. I'm not here to argue. You fill out a request. Just here to help you out.
Yeah.
And to make sure that your beneficiary is taken care of. She was like, you know what? Come. I'll be at my house in like 20 minutes. And I said, okay, well, I have another appointment. After that, I'll swing by. I remember it's like 8 p.m. at night.
Yeah.
My last appointment, I show up. The lady was super nice. On the phone, she was not. In person, incredible.
Whole different deal.
Whole deal. I'm like, thank God. Because I was like, man, I'm not up to it. I'm about to walk away if she gives me any attitude.
It's too late for this shit.
It's too late. So I walked in. My night, she got me a water. I took care of her, help her out. And I remember her beneficiaries were going to be her 2 sons.
Okay.
It was actually with twins. And she was probably in 60s years old, 65 around there. And the craziest thing about her, literally a month after she passed away.
Wow.
After me helping her out.
Yeah.
And I remember because it was her sister who called me saying like, did you help this lady? I had your business card. And she no-showed me twice. Imagine, like, if I didn't show up and I was like, you know what, or took it too emotional, you know what, I'm not going to waste my time with you. Whole difference. And literally a month after she passed away, and being able to actually provide.
Yeah, what did you think? What were you feeling when you got that phone call from her sister?
Couple things. I said, well, thank God didn't post-date the policy, number one.
Yeah. That's huge.
Thank God didn't post-date the policy, because I could have been not pay.
Right.
Number two, I'm actually happy that in a positive way, I was able to convince her that today is the time to get you qualified. Not wait, because we don't know when we're going to pass away.
Right. And that's key to even just kind of bringing it full circle on what we do. We're not convincing people they need life insurance. We're trying to help you understand that you need to get it now.
Yeah.
Because to your point, you'd never know. And dude, a month later, like a post date would have screwed the whole thing up. Yep.
It's crazy.
Yep.
So I received the call. I'm like, Rick, I just helped this lady like a couple weeks ago. And then I go and check. I'm like, wow. Specific, like literally a month later, she passed away. Wow. It was wild.
What did that change for you, like your mentality moving forward?
Well, a couple things, right? Like, really focus on what matters. And I use that story all the time. Yeah. Especially, with those tough clients who don't see the value. They know the value. Right. They're just trying to play tough. Yeah. They just want to challenge you. Yep. I tell them the story. I tell them the impact. 2 sides to the story, because without the life insurance, the kids will be screwed. Sure. And the sister will have to now take over And that's just add-on expenses that she will have.
Absolutely.
That's not her kids, but she now has the responsibility.
Right.
So I always go back to the story, tell him how he benefits them, how he, provided that peace of mind.
Yeah.
But most importantly, I just tell him, like, there is a reason why we're having a conversation today. There's a reason. Mm-hmm. If we're having a conversation today, I know that if I don't help you out today, there is no way you're going to have any other conversations about life insurance with no one else for a very long time. Mm-hmm. I can promise you that.
Yep.
I literally can promise you that. And then after that, I tell him, listen, at the end of the day, what's the real problem in regards to not proceeding today and getting qualified for your beneficiary? And I get real with him, Mike. I'm like, it's not about you.
Right.
It's not about me. My family's protected.
Mm-hmm.
It's about your beneficiaries. When you pass away, they're the one who's going to be screwed.
Right.
It's okay for you not to care now, but, like, honestly, they're your loved ones.
Yeah.
Like, if you can tell me all you want, but if you're in real provider, you will take care of business while you're alive. Mm-hmm. Not wait until it's too late.
Right. And I think that goes back to being blunt. Right? Yeah. You mentioned that one of the things you appreciated about Eric was being blunt. Mm-hmm. Your clients also appreciate when you're blunt, when you're straightforward, whatever you want to call it, direct.
Yeah.
But, like, and I think it's the same thing happening, right? Like, if I'm recruiting and I'm not sure about myself and I'm not being direct and blunt, I may sugarcoat. I may not want you to not join, right? I may look at it as a failure. And I think the same thing happens in the home. It's like the agent, we don't want to lose the sale. So I'm afraid to go, Fred, if you don't take care of this today, you're never going to take care of it. Are you okay? Matter of fact, say this out loud. I do not want to get life insurance. I do not want to protect my family. Tell me that out loud and I'll leave. But we're afraid to say that because, like, well, it might ruin the deal. Dude, if that ruins the deal, there was no deal there anyways.
That's right.
There was nothing. Like, say it. Be bold. Be direct. Because the last thing you want to do is kind of dance around. So I love that. Oh, we're just going to see if you're eligible. That's it. You mean while you're taking banking info and all this other stuff, and then you didn't really solidify the value, and then it gets approved, and after 3 days they're like, I don't really need that, and cancel it? I mean, how often does that happen?
Yeah, no value there.
No value. Because we're afraid to be bold. We're afraid to be blunt and direct and address like that. I remember the first time I said it was at a house up in Plainfield. Mortgage protection lead guy was probably in his 40s. And it was the first time I said something like that where, I show him the options and I'm like getting ready to move into the application. He does the usual, well, let me think about this for a little bit. And I'll get back. I definitely want to do it. It's just, got a lot of stuff going on now, but stuff that we all hear. And I said to him, I forget his name, but I said, hey, let me be honest with you. You fill out this form. I'm here at the house now. This is fresh on your brain. You're thinking about this because you just bought this house. If I walk out this door, no one's coming back in to do this. You've seen it already. You're not going to wait and call someone else back. So if I walk out, you are not going to protect this mortgage. Your kids are not going to be protected.
That's right.
Are you okay with that?
No.
And then I shut up. Mm-hmm. Because what problem is, we talk too much. Like, I shut up. He sits there. He goes, how much is it again? I'm like, well, here's your options, dude. You tell me how much it is.
Yeah.
Why don't we go with the middle one? Does that make sense? Which normally they go with, right? Mm-hmm. And he's like, yeah, we'll just do that. You're right. But I had to be willing to say that. And what could he could have also said, you know what? You're right, Mike. I don't want to get life insurance. Okay, cool.
God bless you.
Hey, sorry to hear that, bro. If that ever changes, let me know. I'm not going to force him.
Yeah.
But you got to be willing to say what's really on your mind. You got to be willing to be direct. And like you said earlier, it's about you're not thinking about yourself. It's about being selfless. Because you're saying that for your client, not for you.
That's right.
Because if you're worried about your own feelings, then you're not going to be direct. You got to be willing to get uncomfortable. I mean, and it's like you wouldn't be in the position you are now if you didn't get uncomfortable over and over. Like, get consistent at getting uncomfortable day in and day out. You doing any recruiting now?
I am. Also, all social media.
Good.
So this is going to help.
Yeah, there we go. Well, so that being said, Freddie, people are watching this. And they want to join your team because they know you're a hell of a baseball player. Even though you're a Red Sox fan, we'll let that one slide. But you're an even better life insurance producer, Hall of Fame going on 3 times in a row. Where can they follow you on social?
So we Marichal 12.
Okay.
Okay. And you guys will put
we'll put it on the
tag
because they're not good like me and Marichal. They don't know.
And then the second page, which is my business page, will be Highest Point Financial.
Highest Point Financial. Cool. Check him out. Follow him. Reach out. Join his team. Not if you're with FFL. Stay on your own team. But if you're not, join Freddie. Like to end, Freddie, with stuff that has nothing to do with life insurance.
I love
fun
it.
stuff, okay? Who's your favorite athlete of all time?
Oof, easy. Kobe Bean Bryant.
There you go. He was a beast.
Oh, my God.
You a music guy?
I am.
You are? Do you have any guilty pleasure songs that you're kind of embarrassed about listening to? Like, is there one? Like, are you like a Backstreet Boys fan? Like, is there one that you put on? Like,
no, pretty typical, man.
Okay.
Bad Bunny, Romeo Santos, kind of old bachata. Yeah,
no. You get down with some bachata?
Yeah. I love bachata, man, for sure.
If Elon Musk, he wants to move us all to Mars at some point, right?
Oh, man.
Yeah, so let's just say we're there, Freddie, and he's like, Freddie, we can't bring too much. Like, we got one ship, bro. You can bring one album with you. One album. Now we get there. Bad Bunny's gonna come. He's gonna make new music probably.
Yeah.
But right now there's one album that you can bring from here with you to Mars. What's that album?
So it will be actually Romeo Santos. I've been through the last.
Okay.
The Last Dance. Yeah, that would be that one.
When did that one come out? Which one was that?
Probably like 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah, probably a long time.
I get down with some. I've been through that.
Yeah.
Believe it or
I've been
not,
through it.
Freddie.
Definitely, I've been through the last album. Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
That'd be the last one.
What about a movie? You got a favorite movie?
Wolf of Wall Street. I think that's
a great one.
It's a long movie.
It's long too. That's smart because you're like, if I'm only bringing one, at least one's like 5 hours long almost.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wolf of Wall Street is an incredible movie. Overall for everything.
Yeah, love it.
In regards to sales too.
If you could be one fictional character.
One fictional.
Yeah, this is the hardest one. This always gets people. The one fictional character in history. I don't care if it's a movie character, a cartoon, a superhero.
Oh my God.
Who would it be and why? It's the hardest question you've been asking in a long time, huh?
No, Iron Man.
Iron Man, really?
Huge fan of Iron Man.
Okay.
I think his leadership.
Yep.
The technology behind it, how he uses it.
Yep.
And I think his teamwork. Always taking that sacrifice. So I'll take Iron Man.
There you go. Love it, dude.
Cool guy, swag. Yeah, it's a no-brainer for me.
Nice. All right. Freddie, Iron Man, Marichal. Dude, it's got a ring. I'm just saying.
Thank you.
There you go. But dude, hey, I appreciate you doing this. I really do. Okay, we'll go with the real. All right. Guys, thanks for checking us out. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Like, how could you watch this whole thing and not subscribe? I mean, come on.
It's a no-brainer. Come on. You got Mike,
right.
Freddie.
Freddie, Iron Man, Marichal in this piece. So hit the subscribe. Share this with somebody that you love. Give it to them as a gift, you know.
That's right.
But appreciate you coming in. I really do.
Thank you.
And everything that you continue to do, staying consistent, kicking ass. You the man. Guys, thanks for joining us. You know where to find us every week right here on True Talk. We'll see you next week.